Hello friends, this is Kevin, aka K-Man1, coming at you with another episode of Pokemon FireRed version. In the last episode, we finished solving the puzzle in Seafoam Islands, only to have me realize that I solved the wrong puzzle first for what I was trying to accomplish. But either way, we caught ourselves a fancy new legendary Pokemon and also finally picked up our last team member, Barbara, from the PC. So, let's go ahead and see what there is to do here in Cinnabar Island. This is, I'm going to read the sign so I know what the official name of it is, Pokemon Lab. This is the, excuse me, I don't want to keep reading the sign. This is the Pokemon Lab. There are a couple NPCs to talk to here. We study Pokemon extensively every day. People often bring us rare Pokemon for examination. Well, that's very, very nice. There are a couple different things available to you here. This guy will trade you a Raichu for an Electrode. Not worth in my opinion because Sample Text has been such an anchor of my team so far. And this girl will trade a Venonat for a Tangela. Also not a very worth trade because Tangela is now a wild capture available to us. So, probably not worth. And this guy was apparently the kid who was there in Mount Moon and took the other fossil. So, that guy makes his return appearance, which is pretty nifty if you ask me. This guy will teach you a nifty move, and it is Metronome. Metronome is a very, very funny move that no one on my team can learn. But basically, how it works is it will choose a random move out of all moves in existence, excepting a few just like signature move sort of things. So yeah, it is completely random, and it is hilarious to use because you can get pretty crazy stuff out of it. You can evolve into one of three kinds of Pokemon. It can evolve into 8 Pokemon at time of recording, so, you know, early generations and what have you. But yeah, Metronome is a very, very fun move that I thought for sure Wigglytuff could learn, but apparently not, so I guess I'm just going to have to deal with not having it on my team for this particular playthrough. I'm looking for the Pokemon Ponyta. I want to trade one for my Seel. I already have a Seel. And I'm about to be able to catch Ponyta, incidentally, so not worth again. Hiya, I'm an important wait, I am important doctor. Yes, oh, he's supposed to be, oh, I guess he's supposed to be speaking bad English. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave one of the fossils with him, and this is the fossil resurrection process. So yeah. Basically, what you're going to want to do is, like I alluded to back when we first got the fossil, leave and come back. It's really that easy. So you talk to him, you late, where were you? I was gone for like 2 seconds. But yeah, Kabuto is a rock and water type Pokemon. It is very, very strong as a physical attacker, but it is pretty slow and it is not the strongest on the special front. So yeah. And the Old Amber is another fossil, which is Aerodactyl, and Aerodactyl is a rock and flying type Pokemon, which is blazingly fast. It has a decent attack stat, and it is capable to put in a lot of work thereby. And the final fossil that you could possibly get is Almanite, which is another water and rock type Pokemon, which is stronger, as I didn't mean to go to the nickname screen. It is a stronger special attacker, and it is a very strong defensive and utility Pokemon as well. The reason I am not using any of them on my team is, well, you get them at level 5, and I don't feel like doing that much level grinding. I really did want to use Ammonite on my team, but A, I didn't want to feed into all the Twitch Plays Pokemon memes, and B, knowing that I was going to have to level grind this much just in order to have it be usable at the end of the game, it just didn't really feel worth it to me. So that's why I ultimately opted against using them. But if you want to use them, I definitely recommend any of the 3. I think they are all very, very cool Pokemon in their own special, different ways. So yeah, that is all there is to do here. And in the next episode, just kidding. It's only been, what, like 4.5 minutes? I wouldn't give you guys such a short episode. That would just be terribly, terribly rude of me. So what we're going to want to do is, if we try to go into the gym, the door's locked, so we can't do anything there. And we talk to this lady, Cinnabar Gym's Blaine is quite the odd fellow. He's lived on the island since way before the lab was built. And I couldn't move for some reason. Cinnabar Island, the fiery town of burning desire. That's what we like to hear. So, the only other place to go here is Pokemon Mansion. Pokemon Mansion is a very interesting place, which I am not going to get into why it's particularly interesting quite yet, because I think that is best saved for us to discover the good old-fashioned way. Also, there are pretty high-leveled wild Pokemon here, so Barbara is probably not the best Pokemon to have in the front of the party, but I want to make sure she's getting some experience. So I'm just going to have to kind of deal with the wild Pokemon encounters as they come, but I'm pretty much going to be cutting them out from here. Also, I'm going to cut away right quick. Well, actually, I'm not going to bother cutting away, because I forgot to teach Surf to Barbara. So she's finally going to have a move that is actually of her type that she can use and take advantage of. So I'm going to get rid of... I don't really care about any of these other moves besides Aurora Beam for right now. So, whatever. I'll get rid of Grell, but just know that I could have just as easily gotten rid of any of the other moves. And for those curious, I am not going to be pulling a Chesto Rest set with Barbara, just because it's not something I particularly care for running in single player. In multiplayer, it has its uses, but it's just not something I personally take advantage of, ever. But you know, you do you, as always. I don't have the ability to stop you from doing whatever you want. So yeah. But yeah, I don't think I ever actually went over how Barbara works as a Pokemon. It is one of a class of Pokemon generally referred to as a bulky water. It's not going to be dealing she's not going to be dealing the most damage on my team, but she is going to be able to tank hits quite easily from a lot of different types by virtue of both her typing and her ability. Which brings me to another point. Barbara has kind of a useless ability on her. It's called... I'm just going to check to make sure that I didn't get another ability. And I just realized. Okay, yeah. She has kind of a useless ability of Thick Fat. And this is one reason why a lot of people don't particularly care for using Seel or its evolution, because its evolution will naturally have a 4 times resistance to both fire and ice. Well, actually, no. It'll have a neutral hit to fire, and it'll have a 4 times resistance to ice. And Thick Fat basically gives you an additional resistance to fire and ice type moves. So it's honestly not very strong as far as an ability goes, given her typing, but she is still fairly bulky and she can still deal a decent amount of damage, so I am very much looking forward to using her on my team. Alright. And these high-leveled wild Pokemon are definitely going to be a pain in my derriere for the duration of this dungeon, but it's just something we're going to have to deal with. Sorry, I keep on spacing out that I'm supposed to be, like, commentating while I'm in the field, but, the big mechanic of this dungeon, I'll go ahead and explain, while I'm battling this, while I'm trying to run away from this Raticate more accurately, there is a lot of stuff scattered about here, and I'm actually just going to switch a different Pokemon to the front until I come across a trainer battle, just so I don't have to constantly be dealing with these wild encounters, but there's a lot of different stuff scattered about here, a lot of items, a lot of trainers, and the main, like, gimmick of it, I guess, is that you need to be using the switches in these statues in order to change the positions of the shutters. So, yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it, and I don't want to be in my TMs. What am I doing with myself? So, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and... I'm trying to... again, this is another area that, just by virtue of having been a while since I've played First Gen, I'm not super remembering. Diary, July 5th, Guyana, South America. A new Pokemon was discovered deep in the jungle. So that's interesting. It seems like Pokemon, just more evidence that it happens to take place in the real world as we know it. How it became, you know, full of magical death creatures, we don't really know yet. But, the lore of the Pokemon universe. That's actually really creepy. The eyes of the statue turn red when when it's like activated. Cool little detail, but nothing really much to it. So, but yeah, it seems that not only does Pokemon take place in the real world, also new Pokemon are constantly being discovered. And Max Potion, very, very nice actually. So, Diary, February 6th. Mew gave birth. We named the newborn Mewtwo. So it seems that the new Pokemon is capable of giving birth to new creatures. Very, very interesting. And I'm just gonna go ahead and no, I'm just gonna use the switch method for Barbara for a little while. This place is like huge. I'm only battling trainers because Barbara is low leveled and I want her to get up a little bit of experience. Because that is what I am all about. So I'm going to switch over to Molster since he is my best bet for taking on fire types at the present moment. Unless he gets confused. If this ends up being a long battle, I'm probably just going to cut it out, but I'm hoping I'll be able to take it down in one magnitude. Let's see if we can pull it off. And it hurt itself in its confusion. Okay, I'm probably just going to cut out the rest of this battle. Alright, so yeah, that battle ended up being really annoying, actually. Molster hit itself in confusion 3 turns in a row, so he wasn't even able to do any damage. Diary, July 10th. We christened the newly discovered Pokemon, Mew. Turns out I read the journals in the wrong order. But, yes, there is a new Pokemon called Mew that gave birth to a Pokemon called Mewtwo. And Barbara is in the front because of the last battle. Alright, decided to cut away because I had 2 different members of my party fainted. But, ooh, hey, cool. Yeah, Wheezing is an available Pokemon here, and I've already pretty much explained how I feel about the Coughing and Wheezing family. So, very, very cool Pokemon that I recommend you pick up if you feel like it. And, wow, that did a lot of damage. Alright, but fleeing when I can, so back in the moment. And the repel wore off, but we are back in business for the time being. This is one reason why I don't like catching new party members this late into the game. All wild Pokemon are pretty much going to be higher leveled than you. So that's it's just kind of an annoying thing rather than like an actually bad thing, and I just went to heal. Don't make me have to do it again. Alright, Barbara keeps fainting, which I guess is kind of my own fault for the way I've been trying to take care of things, but hopefully she's not going to be as weak for very, very much longer. So, Youngster Johnson. What kind of kid's first name is Johnson? Like, I don't know. I guess, like, names like Harrison and stuff are pretty common as first names, but I've never heard of anyone's first name being Johnson. That's always been more of like a last name in my experience. So, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm not. I probably am, to be completely honest with you. But, you know, don't question me. So yeah. And I promise I'm not going to be battling every random NPC for very much longer, but it's just both because of the dungeon that we're in and from the fact that Barbara is very close to something important. I kind of wanted to get just that like little extra shred of experience that I wouldn't be able to get otherwise, in hopes that I'm going to be able to make things work. And since this seconds is only 1 level higher than me, I'm feeling confident that I can take it on in a direct battle. It can only deal 11 damage to me, and I'm probably going to be able to at least half health it with Surf. I was right. It hits me with the Screech, but that's not going to be a problem because I'm going to be able to finish it off this turn. And we are going to be done like dinner in that regard. And I'm guessing this kid's last Pokemon is going to be an Arbok or Eradicate. I was right, and I don't want to switch yet because I want to make sure that Barbara gets this experience because, hey, guess what, guys? Barbara's not going to be very weak for much longer. Spoiler alert, I guess. But, something I am very, very much looking forward to because it's going to mean less wild encounters. Yay, less wild encounters. And really, barely living there, this game is stupid. If I were a rat fighting a rat in real life, then this would be much different. And so, Barbara hits level 33, and Sample Deck is going to hit level 38 as well. And so you might be wondering, what's the super important, sexy, amazing thing that happens at level 33? Nothing. But there is a super sexy, amazing thing that happens at level 34. What say we find out what it is, shall we? Barbara was elevated to level 34. What? Barbara is evolving. This wasn't foreshadowed at all by anything I've been saying. But yes, again, I just kind of wanted to show off Barbara in her unevolved form for a little while, just to make sure that I could say that I did, but ultimately, I'm going to be lazy and have an evolved Pokemon. Hooray. So, Barbara evolved into Dugong. Very, very nice. Dugong is now Ice-type. Okay. I didn't know that Dugong learned this upon evolution. Okay, Sheer Cold is a one-hit KO move, which does exactly what you might think. And I'm not going to be relying on it by any stretch, but I will definitely have it in my moves to see if I can get anything cheeky off in the near future. So, okay. I'm 100% fine with that one. Yeah, no, I will gladly take it. But yeah, Barbara is now going to be a water and ice type Pokemon, which I'm very happy about. So yeah, pretty much all there is to that. And we are going to be moving along here in Pokemon Mitch. Really? Why are the wild Pokemon here so high leveled? I hate everything right now. So this is Dugong's back sprite. I have never seen them before, and it does not look very nice, I'm not gonna lie. I'll probably get used to it, but it's kind of weird. So, over here there's an escape rope, which isn't very useful because Molster still knows Dig because I haven't been able to get any better moves for it. I forgot how high leveled Molster learn new moves. Well, Dugtrio as a species, rather than Molster specifically. I forgot how long it took to learn new moves as Dugtrio, so just kind of something I'm dealing with. I recognize that, what do I recognize? I completely lost my train of thought there, and I should throw up another repel before I run into a billion more wild Pokemon. I didn't mean to use that. I used a super repel. It would be awkward if I accidentally leveled up Barbara again like that. And there's nothing for us to do in this direction. So I'm pretty sure we're good to move on to what we're actually supposed to be doing, because I've kind of been lollygagging a little bit, in case you couldn't tell already from everything that's been going on. So what we are really going to be wanting to do is moving on up here. I am wrong. Alright, what we're really going to be wanting to do is hitting this switch over here and working our way around. I'm wrong again, but dang it, I am going to stick to my guns on this, even though I know I'm wrong. Because that's the American way, innit? Alright, but for real though, I'm sorry, this is just terrible run of this dungeon. I am being as roundabout and imprecise as possible, but not much of that for very much longer, hopefully. That's the dream, at least. So what we're really, actually 100% sure wanting to do here is come down here, and I want to say what we actually want to do is drop down right here, but there's a couple things in it for us if we go this way. This isn't a required battle though, so I'm just going to be cutting it out. Alright, well, that battle was more annoying than it had to be. And are there any items up here? Nope. Or at least none that I can find without the item finder. Hooray. So the reason I'm coming out here is to go ahead and grab this item over yonder. But so yeah, what we're really wanting to do is, I'm like 99% sure, is go ahead and drop down right in this spot. It has to be specifically here if I'm unmistaken, or else it's just not gonna work. And we don't have to fight that trainer, so I'm not going to. And Carbos, cool. So if we just walk right over here, then it's our way out, but we don't want to leave quite yet because there's quite a bit more for us to get right around the corner. So there is an item over here, which is a full restore. Very, very nice. And I don't want to battle that guy or wild Pokemon. Alright, wild Pokemon are like crazy high leveled here, so I'm probably going to do a little bit of grinding off screen between this episode and the next. But yeah, Diary, September 1st. Mewtwo is far too powerful. We failed to curb its vicious tendencies. So, the lore of this place. They discovered a Pokemon in the real world, only to have it give birth to a dangerously powerful new Pokemon. And that new Pokemon is apparently going on a rampage. And jerk! Huge freaking jerk! Cutting this battle out because it's not required and because this guy's a jerk. Oh hey, in this battle, Molster finally learned Slash, which is another move I wanted on it, so I'm gonna get rid of Fury Swipes. But yeah, Slash is 70 base power, I think, normal type, high critical hit ratio, is basically all there is to it, which is something I greatly appreciate. So yeah, defeated Scientist Ivan. What was that for? You were the one who challenged me to a battle! NPC logic. Alright, so if we hit that switch, then we're not going to be able to get this item right away, which is TM14 Blizzard. Blizzard is a 120 base power Ice-type move with, I think, 85% accuracy. It might be 70% accuracy. And it has a very high chance of freezing, and it is 100% accuracy if used in a hail, hail weather condition. So then we get the secret key, which will let us into Blaine's gym. And there we get TM22 Solar Beam, which is 120 base power grass-type move, which takes a turn to charge unless you are in the sun weather. So, a lot of weather-based moves here. Well, like moves that are augmented by weather effects. So, pretty cool, but not anything that we're really particularly looking at using on our team. And you need to use this secret switch a lot, like the secret switch mechanic a lot. Which I guess is cool, because, you know, they're committed to making that, like, the main mechanic of the dungeon. But that and high-leveled wild Pokemon, apparently. Okay, but yeah, I get that they're trying to make it, like, the main mechanic of the dungeon, but it's annoying having to constantly, like, run back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and hit the switch every single time. But that was Pokemon Mansion, I think was the name of it. Yeah, Pokemon Mansion. And so, with the secret key in hand, we're going to be able to access Blaine's gym, but we're going to wait until the next episode to go ahead and tackle that. So, in this episode, we cleared out Pokemon Mansion, and in the next episode, we're going to be taking on Blaine's gym, is basically what I just said already. So, I will see you guys then.